Hey everybody, Joshua David Hayward here again, co-founder of JVology, and in this video I'm going to share with you how you can be really successful with joint ventures and JVs even if you don't have a big list, currently have a hot product to sell, or know any of the top people in your industry and in your niche. And joint ventures, as I shared in the previous video, is one of the greatest marketing strategies and one of the fastest ways to attract more clients, enroll more people into your products and programs, and put more money into your bank account. Now, many people, oftentimes starting out, think that, oh, I can't do JVs because I don't have a big list, or I don't have a hot product, or I don't know anybody yet. And it's oftentimes just a misconception because there are so many ways that you can connect with somebody to contribute value in their life and in their world, to quickly build those relationships and then leverage those relationships into that person sharing you, your products and your programs with their already existing audience. If this is the first video you're seeing and you haven't watched the first video yet, I encourage you to pause this video now, go back and watch that video, because in that video I share the opportunity of joint ventures and getting access to huge amounts of people and potential customers and clients without any upfront expenses or marketing costs for Facebook ads or traditional advertising. So pause this video and go watch that now because it's pretty great. Now, a little bit more about my story that I shared in the first video is that I used to be running my own company and be the lone wolf in sharing my message with other people. I was doing all my own marketing, I was speaking at all my own events, I was doing my own graphic design and copywriting, basically doing everything myself, and I was missing out on the opportunity of joint ventures. I was paying a bunch of money in advertising and events and a bunch of different things that I really didn't have to do once I figured out the power of joint ventures and how profitable they could be. That very quickly I shifted my entire business model and my entire business from being essentially 3 full-time jobs for myself to now working with joint ventures, having other people promote me and my programs, and for the majority and at the beginning of when I was doing joint ventures was having other people's products, programs, and services that I believed in and sharing those products, programs, and services with my already existing audience, that even though it was a small list, my list was engaged in the products and programs of my joint venture partner, so that I was earning a commission for any sales that were generated, but I didn't have to do any of the delivery. And I had a lot of freedom that I was able to travel the world for 3.5 years. So that was possible by me promoting other people's products and programs to my existing list. And then, not too long ago, I partnered with one of my mentors and one of my best friends, Jay to launch the Mastermind to Millions brand. And in launching the Mastermind to Millions brand, we launched that using joint venture partners and leveraging relationships that we had with other people, where less than 10 relationships generated over $1 million in revenue for us in the first 9 months just from those joint ventures. And then in the first year of the Mastermind to Millions brand, we generated $2.3 million in sales. And the majority of that came from joint ventures. It came from those relationships. We didn't invest a ton of money into Facebook ads or upfront marketing expenses. We just leveraged the relationships with other people that we had. Now, for you, just starting out, there's huge opportunities for you with joint ventures. Even if you're not just starting out and you're already doing joint ventures, there's so many different ways to joint venture with other people. And in this video, I want to share with you where to find joint venture partners, how to approach joint venture partners, and a bunch of different ways that you can joint venture. It doesn't always have to be like you mail for me and I'll mail for you and how big's your email list. You don't have to get into that game. Because again, it doesn't matter the size of your list. It doesn't matter if you have a hot product to sell. It doesn't matter if you know anybody previously. There's a way that you can joint venture, connect with other people, and leverage their already existing audiences by contributing value to them in that relationship so that you get access to more prospects, you generate more leads, you build a bigger list, you enroll more clients and customers, you put more cash in the bank, you create more freedom and abundance for yourself. The opportunities are endless with joint ventures. So starting out, let's talk about the foundation of how joint ventures can really work and why it's possible to be successful with joint ventures even if you don't have a big list, a hot product to sell, or know anybody currently. Now, this ultimately comes down to the relationship with somebody who has a product or program or service that can support your audience, or if you don't have that audience yet, is building a relationship and contributing value to somebody who does have that audience. And there's always a way to contribute. And the foundation of all of these things of joint ventures comes down to the relationship. And as long as you can engage in that relationship and find a way to contribute value and are willing to go first in that contribution of value and build the relationship, then the opportunities are endless. And you can always find a way to contribute with anybody. All of the top partners in your niche, there's always a way to contribute. And in this joint venture world, now with the amazing success that Jay and I have had with the Mastermind to Millions brand, we're always getting messages from people wanting to joint venture with us, wanting to promote our products and programs, and wanting us to promote them. And there's a right way and a wrong way to approach potential joint ventures. And what I encourage you to do is avoid the, hey, can you promote my stuff for me, as being the first contact with somebody that you're wanting to have promote your stuff. Or like, hey, buy my stuff. Or, hey, my product and program is awesome, and these are the commissions, and this is all the stuff, and can you promote this to your list? Without building a prior relationship. It's important to start with the foundation of the relationship and really respecting that relationship and building that relationship, and then contributing value in that relationship. And then eventually that relationship there'll be reciprocation, where that person will reciprocate and support you in whatever way you're wanting after you go first and contribute. And this is something that we talk about in all of our JVology live events, at our JVology live experiential training that I'll share with you momentarily, is contribute. Come from a place of building the relationship, of actually caring about somebody, understanding what are their products and programs, what's their mission in the world, how can you serve and support them in what it is that they're wanting to create. And when you come from that place of service and contribution in that relationship, instead of a place of getting, like, hey, can you promote my stuff? Or, hey, will you promote me to your audience? Or, hey, buy my stuff, is the energy in the relationship is so much different because you're coming from that place of contribution. And then people are actually open to receiving. They're open to connecting. With the former of like, hey, can you promote my stuff? Oftentimes people put up this wall. And they're like, okay, who is this person? Like, I don't know you. Why are you asking me to promote your stuff to my list? Is come from that place of contribution. And there's always a way to contribute. Now, in one of our launches, as an example, we had a client of mine actually end up in 8th place for sales in one of our launches, where all of our big name partners, all the big names in the industry were promoting us. And then this client of mine, who had a list of less than 100 people, actually came in 8th place for the amount of sales that he generated for us in this big, long leaderboard of all the top names in the industry. And he was able to do that because he was committed to contributing value in the relationship with us. And what he did is he got on the phone with all his clients, and he promoted our product and program because he knew the value that it had for his clients. And so he was able to position himself at this high level on our leaderboard and attend our top partners mastermind, because he contributed value and he took action even without having the big list that many people think that you need. Now, a big list is a great asset to have, and using joint ventures is a great way to build that list, but it's not necessary, and there's always a way that you can contribute, build a relationship, and then have joint ventures actively working in your business, whether it's you promoting other people's products and programs to your small list and your small audience and making a commission without having to do any delivery, or building that relationship with a joint venture partner and then having them promote you, your product, or your programs to their list of thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. And in the last video, I talked about making a list of the top 10 people in your niche that when they promote you, just your business will expand and explode, because your message, your products, your programs will be getting in front of an exponentially sized audience of people who already want what you've got. They just don't know that it exists. And that's what I love so much about joint ventures, is the leverage in those joint ventures, the possibility of developing a few really powerful relationships, and those relationships leading to you getting your products, your programs, your offers, your events in front of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. And this is what was possible for us with the Mastermind to Millions brand, is we developed a few really key relationships that then resulted in our message, our products, and our programs getting out there in front of the eyes of hundreds of thousands of people, that very quickly we went from a list of about 1,800 people to over 50,000 people because of these few key relationships. And that's what's possible for you with joint ventures, and identifying who are those top 10 people in your niche, starting to build those relationships, starting to contribute value, and then eventually having those relationships reciprocate, where they're serving and supporting and contributing to you by sharing you and your message with their already existing audience who wants your stuff already. So let's talk about a couple things. So first, where to find joint venture partners. So one of the greatest places to find joint venture partners is at live events. Now, why at live events? Because at live events you can actually connect with the person in person and talk to them face to face, get to know who they are, have engaging conversation outside of business about other things that they're passionate about. And it's one of the ways that you can create intimacy and connection so quickly because it's an in-person experience. So at live events, like our JVology Live is full of people who are there to learn about joint ventures and connect with other joint venture partners. Going to other live events in your niche where you know your potential JV partners are going to be hanging out, attending their events, joining their mastermind groups is another place, in mastermind groups. Those are a couple places. So live events, in mastermind groups, joining joint venture communities on Facebook. So there's a couple joint venture communities in this industry that you can connect, you can engage with people that are there that are already looking for partners and products and programs to promote. Sending emails is one way to connect. So identifying who are those top 10 people in your niche and sending an email to start a connection. Picking up the phone and connecting with them over the phone. Scheduling a Skype call or FaceTime, something where you can have that facial conversation where it may not be in person, but through the screen like we are right now with this video. Other great ideas are to connect with other people in their organization and build relationships there. Another great thing to do is find out, okay, if you're wanting to connect with this really big person in the industry, who do you already know and have relationship with that knows and has a relationship with that person, and leverage the third-party credibility and get an introduction. So these are some of the main places to connect with joint venture partners, and there's so many more that we dive into deep at our JVology Live event, and I'll talk a little bit more about in the next video. Another thing is how to approach JV partners. So approaching joint venture partners really is quite simple. Contribute value. Value the relationship and connect for the purpose of building a relationship rather than getting something. Come from contribution first. So in person at a live event is contribute value. What is it that you know they want or they need, and how can you contribute that value to them? When it's through email or a Facebook message or a phone call, is come from that place of service. Avoid the, hey, I've got a launch coming up, can you promote my stuff? Is that oftentimes people are putting up walls when there's that get experience or that get energy behind. So that's really the foundation, and it's really simple, is contribute, is ask them, hey, I love your products and your programs and what you're up to in the world. I'd love to support you. Do you have a launch or promotion coming up that I can share you and your message with my audience? And that's really the foundational stuff. There's a lot of different templates that we have of emails that you can copy and paste and tweak the language a little bit and send those out to your potential joint venture partners. But the foundational piece of this is coming from a place of contribution. How can you contribute in that relationship? What's the value that they're seeking? Are they looking for products and programs to promote to their audience that's going to fulfill a specific need for their audience? Are they wanting to have more leverage and get their message shared to more people? What is it that they're wanting, and how can you provide that for them as a way of contributing in that relationship, contributing to them and being of service to the mission that they have in the world? And when you come from that place, the relationship and the value that they receive from that relationship, it really puts you above everybody else because you're coming from that place of contribution instead of that place of get mentality. So really focus on the contribution. Now, let's talk about a couple alternative ways to joint venture. And when we talk about joint venturing, oftentimes people think and get stuck in the mentality of like, oh, well, I'll mail for you and you mail for me. Well, how many clicks are you going to send and how many emails are you going to send? And like this back and forth tit for tat that I don't really like because I just like to come from service and support. And when I say that I'm going to support somebody in their launch or their promotion, it's like I'm going to go all in and support you. I'm not going to track like how many leads you're sending me and try and figure out, okay, well, I only want to send you the same amount of leads or clicks. Like that just doesn't work for me. And that doesn't work for us and our brand and our audience and our community. We all really come from contribution. So focus on contribution. So outside of the mailing back and forth and having commissions exchanged, a couple different ways for joint venturing that we see in this industry often, just to name a few, is doing a stage swap. So, hey, I'll come speak on your stage, and you can come speak on my stage at our live events. And oftentimes there'll be a joint venture of a commission split. Is, hey, I'm going to come speak on your stage and sell my product or program, and I'll give you 50% of the sales that are generated, and I'll take 50%, and vice versa in trading stages. Another joint venture we see is sponsorships. Like I'll pay to have a booth or a speaking spot or a lunch and learn at your event. where that's also a joint venture. There's an exchange of value because there's an upfront investment in exchange for access to an audience. And oftentimes that's what's happening in the joint venture world, is there's an exchange of cash or monetary value in exchange for access to an audience, access to potential customers, access to leads that are gonna grow your list or grow your partner's list, depending on which way the joint venture is going. Other things for joint ventures are co-creating a product or a program together, co-producing a live event, co-advertising where you're both going in on a marketing piece or advertising piece in a different place. Another type of joint venture is a joint venture with me and Jay Facette, where we first started out doing joint venture projects and cash projects and then became business partners. And that is a joint venture where we're working together towards a common goal where we both benefit from that and the end user and customer and client benefits from that. And there are so many different ways that you can joint venture outside of the you mail for me and I'll mail for you. That's where we often see it in this industry, and that's what we teach a lot about at our JVology Live event, is the emailing back and forth. But it doesn't just have to be an email, it's really the exposure of your product, your program, your service to an already existing audience of people who already want it, and then vice versa. You sharing a joint venture partner's product, program, or service with your audience that already wants it, so your audience feels really pleased and valued because you're giving them what they want and what they need that you might not provide, and then you get to provide that value to them without having to do any of the delivery yourself. So that there's lots of freedom in that you're delivering value without having to do any of the work, and then you make a commission and you get paid simply for making the introduction and the connection. That's what I love about joint ventures so much, and that's what really supported me in going from having 3 full-time jobs in my previous business to then traveling the world full-time and working 4 to 8 hours a week, simply promoting other people's products and programs to my small list that I knew my list would benefit from, that whenever any of my JV partners' products or programs sold to my audience, I made a commission without having to do any of the work. So joint ventures are one of the best ways for marketing that you can get your message out there exponentially to thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people without having to do any expensive advertising, run Facebook ads, figure out any of the front-end marketing. Simply build and leverage a few key relationships of people who already have the relationship, who already have access to your target market clients in droves, in the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, that they promote you, your products, and your programs to their already existing audience of people who want it. And this is what we teach at our JVology Live event, is how to find those people, how to reach out to those people, how to connect with them, how to contribute value in those relationships, how to get them to support you in your launch or your promotion, how to give them swipe copy and make it really easy for them to say yes to promote you, that they'll email their list, they'll share you with their audience. When you come to the JVology Live event, you'll learn how to craft your offers, your product and your program, how to write your sales page. You get a 22-step copywriting framework for writing really great copy that your offer will convert, so that your JV partner will actually promote it and earn commissions because they know it's going to be really valuable for them. You'll learn the different types of joint venture partners, what it is that their motivation structure is, so that you know how to engage in conversation with them to show the opportunity of supporting you in a way that's going to have them really bought in on supporting you and wanting to engage. You'll learn how to choose your commissions, how to create commission bumps, how to run prize pools and promotions that get all your JV partners, the top 10 people in your niche and your industry, and a whole bunch of other people engaged in promoting you, and in what I call co-opetition, that they're all cooperating together in a little competition to see who can support you at the highest level. And when you come to JVology Live, you'll learn all of those things and how to be really successful with joint ventures. You'll learn the art and science of profitable partnerships. You'll learn how to get JV ready, how to start out even if you don't have a list, a hot product, or currently know anybody, and really dive into all the details, all the pieces that you need to know to get JV ready and be really successful with joint ventures, even if you're already doing joint ventures. The promotions and the prize pools and how to run a really great promotion can exponentially bump the results that you're getting with joint ventures. So if you see the opportunity in joint ventures and getting your message and your products and your programs and your services in front of an already existing audience of people who want it, by leveraging a few key relationships with people who are already talking to them, who already have that audience that knows and likes and trusts them. If you want that, then I encourage you to come to JVology Live, where you will master the art and science of profitable partnerships and become really successful with joint ventures. So you can check out that event at jvologylive.com, or you can click the button below this video, and I really encourage you to take action to be there, because when you come, not only are you going to learn everything you need to know to be extremely successful with joint ventures, you're also going to connect with hundreds of other people that want to be successful with joint ventures as well, that are looking for joint venture partners, that have products and programs to promote, that you can promote to your list to generate the commissions without having to do any of the work. And they're going to be looking for other people with products and programs that they can promote to their already existing audience. There's going to be a ton of networking. We're going to throw some parties as we always do, and we would love to have you there. So I encourage you to check that out at jvologylive.com, and be sure to check back in for the third video in this series. We're going to learn a whole lot more about joint ventures, how to craft a really great joint venture pitch, and how to connect with people on a high level and run that great promotion that gets them engaged in supporting you and sharing you with their already existing audience. So until I see you in the next video, I want you to start thinking about who are those people that you can connect with, and what is the offer or product or program that you have or could develop that you want joint venture partners to promote for you. Start thinking about commissions, start thinking about well, don't even start thinking about prizes yet, but think about commissions, think about your price points, and start thinking about if you had really valuable relationships with those top 10 people in your niche that you wrote your list about in the last video. When you have those relationships and those people are willing to promote you, what is it that you want to promote or have them promote to their audience of people that are already there, already existing, and already want what you have? So start thinking about that product or program that you want to have your joint venture partners promote, thinking about the price point, thinking about the commissions, and thinking about what that would look like for you. And in the next video, I'll share with you how to make a really good JV pitch to present your opportunity to those JV partners, and how to connect with them on a deeper level and get them engaged in supporting your launch. So until I see you in the next video, click on the button below to check out JVology Live, and I hope to see you there.